So, as the old saying goes, you can't take it with you. Meaning, when you die, all your stuff stays here and you can't take it with you. Or can you? I think you can, and I'll tell you more about it on this episode of Simply Stated. So, a friend of mine posted a joke on Facebook, and it kind of got me thinking. Let me tell you the joke. So there's an old guy, a rich old guy, and he's nearing the end of his life, and he knows it. He's come down with some disease or whatever, and he's worked hard all his life to amass a fortune, and he wants to take it with him. And so he prays to God, please let me take this money with me. And he sends an angel to tell him, no, you can't take it with, we don't allow anything going. He goes, please, 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 please with the Lord. So they kind of went back and forth, and finally God said, okay, look, tell him one suitcase full of whatever he wants to bring. So the angel comes down and he tells him, all right, the Lord said you can take one suitcase, fill it up with whatever you want to bring, and he'll let you take it with you. So the day comes, the guy passes away, he's at the pearly gates, and Peter stops and he goes, oh, hey, where are you going with that? He goes, the Lord said I could bring it in. So he checks his book. Oh yeah, I see that you can. Hey, let's open it up. Let's see what you're bringing in. We need to inspect this thing. So he opens it up. Peter looks down, and the man had loaded it with gold bars. Peter looks at it. He's like, pavement? Really? You brought pavement? And for those of you who don't know, it's because in Revelation, the Bible says that the streets in heaven will be paved with gold. In fact, pure gold, which is actually translucent. The joke just kind of seems to underscore the fact that the things that we hold so near and dear, so valuable here on earth, are of very little value in heaven. In fact, money isn't even used in the economy of heaven. They don't have any currency. They don't trade gold for things. It's a building material there. And so the economy, as best as I can tell, in heaven is most closely related to an African term called Ubuntu, which, as I understand it, it means that everybody just kind of produces what they produce in abundance, or as much as they can, and they openly share it with one another. So I make cheese. This person over here makes bread. This person over here is a cobbler. This person over here raises vegetables. And so I give him cheese, he gives me vegetables. I give him cheese, he gives me bread. I give him cheese, he mends my shoes. So it's kind of a trade, but you're just openly sharing what you have made with others in need of what you have, and vice versa. So there will be some of that going on. I'm not saying that's exactly how it is. And here on earth, that system, idyllic at best, because human nature kind of mucks it up. And people would find some way to hoard stuff or whatever. But the question that this joke brings up is, a lot of rich people worked really hard, and the question is, can you send money or wealth accumulated in this life into the next life? And you certainly can't take it with you. Nothing goes with you. But what you can do is send it ahead of you. And to do that, you have to take your cash, your gold, your hard-earned wealth, and you have to transfer it into something that's eternal. Because the only thing that's going to exist in God's kingdom is eternal stuff. And so how do you do that? Well, you invest it into things that are eternal, i.e. people. So if you take your goods and you invest it into people, that will be translated into their life, and they go on to eternity blessed with your wealth. And when you get there, that blessing is accredited to you. It's tough to understand, but the kingdom of heaven is a little bit like multi-level marketing. And what I mean by that is, if there's a missionary on a mission field somewhere, and there's 100 people supporting that missionary, and he leads 100 people to the Lord in his career, and I'm just throwing out nice even numbers. All the people that help support the missionary that led those people to the Lord get credit as if they themselves led those persons to the Lord. And I've heard of accounts of people dying and going to heaven, and people coming up and thanking them for their contribution in their life, and they're kind of taken back like, what? But I don't even know you. How do I know you? And they're like, oh yeah, well you gave into this ministry, and they came to my village and presented the gospel, and I got saved, and my life turned around, and I saved my family, and blah, 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 blah. And it's all because you helped contribute to that ministry. And so in some ways, there's multi-levels of blessing. The things that you sow will bear fruit. So the short of it is, you can't take it with you, but you can send it ahead. So you have to learn, at this day and age, you have to take a look at your money and go, I'm going to begin to invest this into people's lives. How can I best help somebody so that when I get to heaven, I will get an eternal reward for sowing temporal things? And it's possible, but you have to think about it now. Because once you die, that stuff, there's not going to be any argument with God or deals brokered with angels allowing you to take a sack full of money. And if you could, it would be absolutely worthless in the kingdom of heaven anyway. So begin to invest. I encourage everybody to begin to invest into people's lives. Besides being able to transfer wealth into eternal vessels and have that stuff bear fruit in eternity, the Bible promises us return for giving here on earth. Give and it will be given to you, pressed down, a good measure, overflowing. Now, if your only reason for giving is you're looking to increase, you ought to check your heart motives there. If you want to align your heart with God's heart, it's people that really matter. Like I said, you're going to a place where money counts for nothing. You might as well start to bend your mind around that concept now. And all the people that irritate you are highly valuable to God. In fact, the people that are actively fighting against God are highly valuable to God. He loves them dearly. We forget this all the time. Our country is divided. In fact, there's skirmishes going on in Berkeley this last weekend. Trump supporters versus non-Trump supporters, at least that's how it's getting spun. But, you know, people who want to exercise their free rights of speech versus other people, and the truth is they're both defeated because they view each other as the enemy. Once you view another person as an enemy, you're kind of fighting from a loss anyway. If you can view people as loved by God, and it's tough a lot of times because like I said, people can be irritating. It'll give you great steps into the kingdom. Plus, you begin to look at those things as eternal vessels, those people as eternal vessels, then you can invest into them and you will be blessed when you get to heaven. So, you can't take it with you. You can send it ahead. So I know this was short. Again, that is my ultimate goal, is to keep these short. And if you got something out of it, I would appreciate it. It would be a huge favor to me if you subscribed and liked it. Also, if you have any questions or topics that you would like me to touch on, please leave them in the description box and I'll get to them. So other than that, be blessed. Have a great day.